Hey, what's going on, guys? BotMentality here. I'm bringing you another Bitcoin chart analysis for today. It is March 31st at about 8:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we'll go ahead and jump into it. This will be on Bitcoin, as always. So first, we'll start off with the market sentiment. What I've noticed here lately is we've been moving from bearish towards neutral. I've just seen an increase in content regarding bottom fishing. A lot of people are saying, is the bottom in? Is the bottom in? And the market's been reacting to that, as we've seen in the channel. I'll go ahead and review here soon. So we've been seeing a lot more people talking about the bottom. We have that consolidation in the channel, and we've been seeing a little bit of short covering. So momentum's kind of hovering neutral right now regarding the market sentiment. So let's go ahead and jump in, or sentiment. Let's jump into the 1 hour. And we'll see what I'm looking at here. So we had the pullback down from 7,900 here all the way down towards 6,700. The first thing I want to go ahead and point out here is we've seen a leveling off in the volume. But one of the first things I notice is we see this high here. Let me go ahead and mark that for you. What we see, what will be the best way to do this here? What we see here is this high. We have a high we set in here, and then we have a low right here, another low right here, kind of holding that level. So now we have a double bottom, a higher low, lower high, and then we have another double bottom here compared to the last bottom, and then now we're testing the highs here. And the levels you want to be looking at regarding this would be 7,200, and I'll go ahead and draw a line here for that. You're going to be looking at 7,200, that high, and you want to be focusing on the very low of 6,600, but mainly right here at 6,750. Now what I spoke about in my previous Bitcoin chart analysis yesterday was one of the ideal scenarios for the longs would be to see a channel formation between the low of 6,750 and the high of 7,100 is what I was looking at. And that's exactly what we got. We saw a bounce off that, a retest, and then a push higher, higher low, and then we have the high here. We're testing the 7,200. Will it break above this? I don't know. What I do think that from what I can tell you is that regarding the hourly RSI, we're approaching 60. As a matter of fact, we're on 60 now. And historically, once we hit that point, we start to see a pullback. We're testing the highs. If we break above this, that's going to be a great signal. But I don't see the volume yet here, guys. We need to see more volume. We need to see more buyers enter the market for this to hold. However, if you played the channel and you bought here on the lows regarding 6,800, on the long, I'll be looking to take profits near this high. If we break that, then I'd set my stop here right below the high and then move it up and follow my stop up as if the stock continues higher. Or the stock, look at me, the coin continues higher. So that's one thing I would keep in mind regarding that. But we did see the channel play out, and so far we see this temporary sideways action. We'll see if it turns to upward action. Another thing you can look at, and I've seen around, you need to focus on, you need to see that we're seeing consolidation. As far as the lower highs and higher lows, we're seeing a triangle start to form, or a wedge, as people call it. So, for example, if you were to connect, let's say these highs right here, this is kind of what I'm looking at, and you connect these lows as well. Let's see here. Go ahead and draw up here. What you're starting to see is the beginning of a triangle, a wedge beginning to form here. So say we bounce off here, make a higher low here at 6,900, and then a lower high here at 7,100. We're seeing this consolidation. So I expect we're either going to break above or break below here shortly. And by shortly, I mean within the next 2 to 3 hours. If we continue in this wedge to this point where either the buyers are going to have to win out for the short term, or the sellers are going to have to win out for the short term. So that's something I'll keep in mind. This channel, but also the horizontal resistance of 7,250 or 7,200. And then you want to keep an eye on the support here at 6,750 as well, or 6,600. So keep that in mind, whether you're long or short. If you're long, stay very close. If you're short, I would just be careful and kind of see where this ends up here. Either way, if you're looking to enter a long here based on the hourly, I would use small size. Same thing on the short side, because even though the RSI is oversold, we don't know where this is going to go in the big picture of things. So there's my input there on the 1 hour. And let me go ahead and jump over to the daily. We'll talk about that. So on the daily, the very first thing I notice here is we're starting to see a green candle form, which is good news, which is definitely good news. You know, we've been seeing just a a bloodbath over the past couple days, all the way down here. So one thing I want to note, look at the volume, guys. We're not seeing impressive volume here on this bounce. This right here could literally be just only shorts covering. So don't go all in long here yet. We need to see some confirmation, some higher lows, some increased bull volume climax before we see a full-on trend reversal. What I'd like to see from this green candle, I see we're at 7,191 right now. I'd like to see us break above 7,300 and close above that as well, at least over 7,250. I want to see the green candle close above that and move on to the next day. So keep an eye out for that. That'd definitely be a good sign for the longs. It might signal a short-term reversal up towards the 7,600, 7,700 levels. If we can reach there, that'd be the next area of significant resistance above the 7,300 low here we had back from March 18th. And again, just keep an eye on that reduced volume. Always keep an eye on volume. Volume is one of the most critical indicators we have. You know, all indicators are going to take into consideration two things. That's price and that's volume. So always keep an eye on the volume. The RSI here on the daily, we're looking at what, 30, right now we're about at 35. So I'd be looking to long lower. I wouldn't want to get long here unless it's a small size. 35. We, historically, when we're below 30, we do see people buying up Bitcoin, and so far we bounce off 30, which I prefer to see lower. So just stay patient, guys. Make sure you stay conservative with your size until we see some confirmation. We still haven't tested the lows there at 5,900, and we haven't hit this prior low there at 6,500 either. So just keep in mind that really just control your size. No one knows where we're going to go from here, but just be careful. That's really all I have for you guys today. So good news for the longs on the daily is we have the green candle forming and we bounced off the 30 RSI. However, we haven't seen too much bullish volume, so I'd be careful with the size you're using on the daily. That's really all I see right now. Areas to be watching, of course, on this is going to be the 6,800 for the daily and also the 7,300. And if we break through that, close above that on the daily, I'd be looking towards the 7,700 level as the next resistance above that. And so really, that's all I got for you here today, guys. Remember, keep your size, control your size, stay focused, and learn to trade like a machine. Develop the bot mentality. So when we get these kind of sell-offs, you're not emotionally inclined just to sell off right away. You take advantage of the situation. So, all right, guys, see you later. Trade like a machine. You have a good one.